my name is Audrey Merz, and I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Jefferson Elementary. I'm super excited to work with your kindergartners this year. Starting kindergarten can be an emotional time. It's full of excitement. You're so excited for your child to learn and start their education, but it's also a time as a parent full of a lot of questions and worries. So I'm going to take a brief moment today to just kind of explain a few things to you, hoping to answer some questions that you may have running through your head today and try to put those emotions at ease today. First thing is we do an all-day curriculum here at Jefferson, so your child will be busy all day long, which means when they come home they will be very tired. We ask that you set a appropriate bedtime for your child. A lot of my kindergarten students end up going to bed between 7:30, 8 o'clock to get up and start their day. We do a slow progression into the curriculum at the beginning of the year, but it takes some time to build up that stamina for those kids. So the first few weeks you're going to notice they're really tired. So just set those bedtimes and those routines so that they can be working their best during the day. I take a lot of time out of my weeks to make sure I'm communicating with you. Communication is the number one key between parents, children, and teachers. And I ask if you have any questions throughout the day to email those or contact me so I can answer those questions appropriately for you. If there's any concerns, please make sure you reach out to me right away so that I can address those concerns. Sometimes it's just trying to make things a little more clear for the parents because you're not here all day, and sometimes your children come home with some stories and you're not quite sure how to interpret them. So it's so much more helpful when I'm able to communicate with you. Also, I will have a weekly sheet in your child's folder. It will explain to you how your child is doing throughout the day according to our Leader in Me chart. That information will be included in a folder that you receive at the open house on Monday. So you can see that your child will take some time throughout the week earning their way up the chart. If your child is having a hard time in the kindergarten classroom, they will be moving a clip down. I will also be making sure that I communicate with you what those concerns are. It's important that you and I are celebrating with your child those successes that they're having, little, big, any of those successes, especially at the beginning of kindergarten as they're adjusting. But it's also really important as they're struggling that we also have communication with them and what their expectations are. So I ask that you please address those as they come home. It will be right in the folder, so open your child's weekly folder, daily folder that comes home. They're little circles and you can kind of see what color they're on. If it's a color of concern, I will make sure that I communicate those to you. But please make sure you leave those sheets in your child's folder. It's also a great way for you to write any information you may have for me, a change of transportation, just a note, just kind of telling me about things that are happening. It's also a place to put money that you mark. The worst thing is to hand your child a $20 bill and they walk into the building, and while they're hanging their coat, their book bag, whatever, they lose that in transition. So please make sure you put all money in the weekly folder and you mark those things. Transportation is a huge thing over the next few days that I will be working on. I sent home a transportation letter to you that I mailed, and I will also have one here at Open House. Super important that by Monday we have that information. If your child is going to a daycare provider or a different bus provided by Gehanna, you will need to fill out a bus transportation form. Please make sure those are approved. If they're not approved, they will not be able to go that route. If your child is just going home on the regular bus to their house, there's nothing you need to do. Just fill out my transportation information and I will be communicating that to the bus garage. Please make sure if that day you change your child's transportation, you contact the school as soon as possible. Do not email me. I'm not always checking email throughout the day as I am working with students. Also, do not tell your child that they are going home a different route. If a child comes up to me and says, Mom's picking me up today, I go based on their regular schedule. I can't always guarantee that a 5-year-old has their schedule down pat or knows exactly what day the transportation change is happening. So if it is not written or on a phone call, we will not change. Any medications, please make sure you fill out the appropriate paperwork and drop them off to school. Children are not allowed to have medications in their hands at all during the school day. You can't just hand them cough drops or even sunscreen. They can't have those throughout the day, so please make sure you're filling out the appropriate paperwork. We do have a staggered start. We do this so that we are able to work with a smaller group, working on their transportation, practicing. So we ask that that very first day, however they are going home that rest of the year, we ask that they start that very first day. I know you're excited to come and see them get off that first day. You are welcome to follow the school bus. You're welcome to come into the building that first day and take pictures. But after that, we ask that you kind of step back and allow them to build their independence and not walk them into school. We will be practicing that a lot during that staggered start. Your child will come just one day, those first 5 days of school. There's an assigned day. I've included that in a letter. So please look at that. If your child arrives on a day that is not assigned to you, we will be calling you and asking you to pick them up. We do this so we can build relationships, we can build up their self-esteem, and allow them to practice those routines that you too are a little worried about, like recess and lunch and bus routines. So it helps that there's not 25 of them, that there's only a handful of them that day. We do serve breakfast. Please communicate with your child if they are allowed to receive breakfast that day. You may start receiving breakfast at 7:40 in the morning. You may drop your child off. They may enter the building. Any children dropped off at 7:40 not receiving breakfast will be asked to stand outside. So please make sure they know if they are receiving breakfast. I am not on breakfast duty, so I can't always guarantee that your child is going to the right directions. There are lots of other people on duty, but they need to know whether they are allowed to receive breakfast. Please make sure your child has a lunch that very first day, including staggered start. You may either put money into their account. That account is good for the entire time they are at Gahanna Jefferson City Schools. That money rolls over. So if you just want to put a bulk chunk of money in there, $20, $30, and they use it however they need to, you may do that. They may also just receive milk if you would wish, but please make sure you communicate that. If your child is not allowed to have milk, please make sure you fill out the appropriate paperwork. Otherwise, they will be given a choice of just different kinds of milk for lunch. If your child's like mine and just doesn't always love to drink milk, then you may provide a thermos of water with them. I please ask any water that you do send in to use a snap close lid thermos, not a twist off lid. We spill them all over. We do not allow them in the classroom just because with as much movement as we do, the kids are constantly spilling them. They are allowed on a table outside my door. Please appropriately mark them. Also, please make sure they have a snap lid. We also do not fill them throughout the day. Children aren't allowed. They spill them on our floors and make it super slippery. And I just don't have enough time throughout my day to be filling water bottles. So make sure all your child's stuff has their name on it. Thermoses, lunch bags, book bags, coats, all of that have their name on it. So I can make sure if it gets lost that we get it to the appropriate spot. You may provide a healthy snack for your child each day. We take about 5 minutes to eat snack every day just to kind of get us through the mornings, especially for those early start kids. They just need another boost in the morning. So please, healthy snacks, no peanut butter products for our snacks. Please provide them in a different individual bag that you keep inside the book bag, not in the lunch boxes. The worst is when we're digging through lunch boxes, or I'm kind of having to help children decide what is lunch and what is snack. So separate them. If you want to provide snack for the whole entire week and put it at the bottom of the backpack, that's totally fine. Please make sure it's a quick snack. We don't have spoons, napkins, anything like that in the classroom. So healthy snack, no chocolate, no chips, no Pop-Tarts, nothing like that, please. Peanuts may be allowed in the lunch room, but not during snack time. Um, as I stated, you may come that very first day and follow the school bus. You're allowed and welcome into the classroom to take pictures. Um, Staggered start, please make sure that you are following the assigned day that your child is coming for staggered start. Everyone will start on the following Wednesday, full day every day from there on out. Please make sure you read about the Leader in Me. It's a wonderful program. We do take time throughout our day to learn that program and practice being leaders at Jefferson Elementary. At any time you have any questions, please make sure you reach out to me. I will be trying to get information out to you the best that I can, but I may not always be answering the questions that you may have running through your head. So please make sure you contact me via email. I also will make phone calls throughout the day when the time is feasible, when I'm not with students. So I'm looking forward to meeting you and your child during open house. Welcome to Jefferson.